Well, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Paula and I am back at the lake. I went home for this past weekend, seeing my grandkids, and it is Monday morning and I'm trying to get woke up and motivated and ready for the day. I've already had 2 cups of coffee this morning and I didn't want to have any more coffee at the moment. So I made some tea. I just have some hot tea here. It's unflavored. This is a moringa tea bag. So I'm having some hot moringa tea. I am getting ready right now to do an intake for a new client for coaching. I'm a health coach. If you need health coaching in the low carb, keto, carnivore space. I was asked recently if I only coach on people wanting to do keto. We don't always start at keto if you're not used to doing low carb and you just want to try cutting your carbs down. I can definitely guide you that way. So it's not always people who are just wanting to be in ketosis and do the ketogenic diet. My program is basically cutting carbs as low as needed for you as an individual and cutting down processed foods, sugar, grains, all that stuff. So I'm getting ready to do that right now, and I thought I would jump on here and start a video for today. I got up this morning and decided we have Ed and his hunting buddy is here and they're out in the woods this morning. And I decided that I would make some meatballs for dinner today and some spaghetti for the guest. I'm going to go to the store this morning and buy some pasta noodles. I haven't bought pasta in so long, but I'm going to buy some pasta. And I also have some zucchini that I'm going to spiralize for myself. I really like spiralized zucchini sauteed in a little butter and add my sauce and my meatballs. It's delicious. So I'm going to make that later for dinner. So I will show you a little bit of the preparation of that. I've already started my sauce. So I seen when I went to the pantry that I only had 2 small jars of the low carb pasta sauce that I use. Well, I decided that I would make it stretch because in town here where I go, my little town nearby, they don't have any kind of low carb sugar-free sauces. It's very minimal what you can get in this town. I have to drive like 35 miles to a bigger town to go like to Walmart or something like that. But I'm not doing that today. So I decided to open those 2 jars of sauce, and I got a couple of giant cans of the crushed tomatoes. I believe they're 32 ounce. I'm not real sure there. They're like those real big cans. I sauteed some onions in some butter, and then I added some fresh chopped garlic, and I put the crushed tomatoes in there. I added the 2 jars of the low carb pasta sauce that I have, and I added some Italian seasoning and some salt and some crushed pepper and a few things like that. And it is down on the stove right now, simmering on a very, very low simmer. And I'm gonna let it simmer all day today. It's kind of like a semi-homemade pasta sauce. The house smells incredible. So I am gonna get ready and coach my client. Then I have to go to the store and pick up a few things. I have a new baby. She's downstairs at the moment. So for 3 years, my son has had a green cheek conure, which is a parrot. It's a little bird. And I have never owned a bird in my life. And I love birds. Like, birds are beautiful. I've just never visualized myself as being a bird owner. But me and this little bird, Manna Banana is what I call her, we have bonded over the 3 years of me going down to see the grandkids or going over to see the grandkids. I would stay at their house at times for a weekend, like when my son and daughter-in-law go away, and I take care of the bird. And we have formed quite a little bond. She really loves me. And I would go into their house every single time. As soon as I get into the area where she's at in the living room and start talking, she would hear my voice start screeching at the top of her lungs until I went over there and paid her some attention. And so they've had her for 3 years. She is a rescue bird. They actually found her. She landed in their yard. They caught her and they named her Manna. If you know the Bible, there is a passage that talks about the Israelites back in the Old Testament and how God provided fresh manna from heaven for them to eat. Well, they named her manna because she fell from heaven, so to speak. She landed on their bumper of their car, and they actually caught her. They tried really hard, reaching out on all kinds of sites and everything. They had a community site on their Facebook page with the community that they had lived in at the time. They live somewhere else now. Nobody claimed this bird, and she was very neglected at the time. She needed some care. So anyways, I bonded with this bird, and my son and daughter-in-law have 3 boys. Their house is so active. 3 boys under the age of 9, 5, and 3, and they're in sports. My daughter-in-law homeschools. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So the bird, she has been taken well care of. They've always fed her, kept her cage nice and clean, but they can't give her the attention that this little baby deserves, okay? And so I think that's why she goes crazy when I go over there, because I really baby her and I talk to her and all that stuff. And so anyways, after a long time of trying to actually beg them for her, I got her. I brought her up last night in a little travel cage, and then I have her big giant cage down in the living room. My dog, Sapphira, is laying there. I'll put a picture right here of what's going on. Sapphira actually rode in the car with me on the way up while Manna was in the cage, and Manna screeched a few times because, you know, she's in a car and that kind of thing. And Sapphira was scared of this bird. My dog is scared of, like, when the smoke detector goes off, she goes and hides under the bed. Like, she's such a big chicken. And she was trying to get in my lap while I was driving. She was so scared of this bird. So right now she's down there laying, just staring at her. She's trying to come to terms with it all. Callie's right here with me. Callie, you know, she's like circling the cage and checking it out and all of that. So we got to be really, really watchful. And I will be. I'm a very responsible person, and I'm not going to just let the bird go out blatantly flying around and unwatched and all of that. So anyways, I have a new baby. She is a green cheek conure. I actually don't know if she is a male or a female. We've always called her a female. I plan on one day trying to get some DNA testing. I want to know how old she is. I want to know her sex, and I just want to see if I can get that done. She's a great bird. She hasn't made a peep, just her little chirps. She's very relaxed, and every time I go down there, she comes over to the, you know, little side of the cage and wants me to rub her and all of that. So anyways, that's exciting news for me. Callie is trying to get in the camera right now. She is a little jealous, you know. But we will all make it through. Where I was telling Callie and Sapphira that, you know, the bird is the pack. She's part of our pack now. So there has to be some little bit of getting to know each other and that kind of thing. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and get ready to coach my client. When I have my first meal, I don't even know what that's going to be yet. Ed's going to be out in the woods for a while hunting. So I'm going to be eating on my own for breakfast. So that's about it for now. I will see you all when I have my first meal. So it is 20 minutes after 12 and I haven't eaten yet. I ended up doing 2 coaching calls this morning and just got off the phone. I have some bacon that I just put in the oven while I was doing my coaching call. All right, I have my bacon here that I just got out of the oven. I'm gonna let that cool for a little bit. I'm gonna scramble up 3 eggs to have with probably 3 or 4 slices of bacon. I'll save the rest for the guys for when they come in. I wanna show you my sauce here. So this is my meat sauce. Look at that. That white thing there is a mushroom. I just threw some fresh mushrooms in here. I have onions and garlic that I sauteed in some butter. Then I poured in 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and 2 small jars. I think they were 12 or 14 ounce jars of Rayo's marinara. And I put in some Italian seasoning, some crushed red pepper, and I just let that all simmer for a little bit while I browned up some ground beef and a little bit of Italian sausage. I have in here in this sauce, I have 1 pound of ground beef and probably a 1/3 pound. It was not even a 1/2 pound of Italian sausage that I took out of the fridge and I browned both of those and put them in here. And then I threw in some fresh sliced mushrooms. And I'm just gonna let this simmer on the stove all day today. When the guys come back, we're gonna have some spaghetti. I thought I would make a few meatballs later on to have with that also, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or not. I might just use this meat sauce to pour over the zoodles and not even have the meatballs. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and scramble some eggs, and I will put a picture of my breakfast. Scrambled eggs, 3 scrambled in butter with salt, 3, probably 4 slices of bacon. This is really this is the center cut bacon, so they're shorter. So we're probably gonna have 4 of these. And then I'm also having an additional cup of coffee with some heavy cream. That's gonna be it. This right here, my house smells amazing. All right, I'll see you all later on. I'm getting ready right now to make my zoodles. And all zoodles are, if you've never heard of that term, is zucchini noodles. And I don't have a big fancy spiralizing device. I just use this one that I bought from a local store. I think I got it from a Meijer that we have up here. So I just wanted to show you how you make noodles. I have cut the top off of these on both sides. I washed it and all that. So you just kind of stick this in this area here, and you start to turn it. You don't really need this until you get closer to the end. Now, I might not be doing this the right way, but this is how I do it, and this is how it works for me. So you just twist it, and you'll see the little zoodles will start to fall out. You can take these and boil them in water. I don't like it that way. I've tried that, and they're very watery tasting. So what I like to do is I like to just take these over to the stovetop, saute them in butter, add a little sprinkle of salt, add some garlic powder, some Italian seasoning, whatever you want to add to them just to kind of spice them up a little bit. And that's all I do. I just saute them until they're nice and soft. I'm going to be eating in actually just a few minutes. It is 4:30, and I'll probably go ahead and eat. The guys are not going to be here probably till about 7:30, because that's when dark is. There's the little core from the center. You can throw that in there too. You can see here it's starting to get shorter. So instead of cutting my hand, I'm gonna use this. I don't spiralize a lot of veggies. That's why I don't have a big fancy spiralizing machine or whatever you call it, just because I don't do this that often, and I just don't wanna have, a big piece of equipment sitting around that I don't use that often. So that is my zoodles. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one too, because these are starting to get a kind of a little mushy, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook up all of it, and then I can throw it in the refrigerator, and I won't be eating all of this tonight myself, so I'll just put some in the refrigerator and have it maybe tomorrow. I will meet you over at the stovetop showing you how to saute this. All right, so I have some butter melting here in the skillet. I have my zoodles right here. I'm gonna dump them in, and maybe 5 minutes tops. Let them get nice and soft in that butter. And then over here, I have some Redmond's Real Salt garlic salt. This is garlic powder and salt mixed together. And I am going to just sprinkle this on all in one step. Garlic salt. And that'll give these a really nice flavor. Ed does not like zucchini. He doesn't like squash or anything like that. So I'll probably have half of this with some of this meat sauce. By the way, let me show you here. Check it out, looks delicious. I'm gonna have this in a bowl with some of this poured over it. And I'm just gonna put some Parmesan cheese on top and have a delicious spaghetti with meat sauce. I also have a salad that I have made. Let me show you my salad. I made a spring mix salad. Tomatoes, red onion, some cucumber. I think that's it. And I have some homemade ranch dressing that I'm gonna have a side salad on the side of the spaghetti. So it's gonna be a great dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and get this made up and I'll be back to close out this video. See you soon. You may not be able to see my zucchini noodles. They are down under here. So I have a giant ladle full of the sauce over top. And I also have a small side salad here with my ranch dressing. I have some Parmesan cheese. I grate my own Parmesan cheese. I put it in the blender. I just like it that way. And I'm just gonna put some of that on top of there. And I'm going to have a delicious, yummy comfort food. My camera's crooked, sorry. I'm looking forward to eating this and just chilling out on the couch for the rest of the evening. It was a very busy weekend of driving and going and see the grandkids, playing, having a great time, bringing my bird back and getting her all set up and situated. And I want to just relax tonight. So after I eat this, I'm not going to be eating anything else. I will probably have some sparkling water. Sometimes I will have some decaf coffee or some hot tea. I don't know if you can hear that saw out there. They're still working on the deck. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all soon. God bless.